Has anyone told you the situation in Palestine is far too complicated to even bother to explain? And that's why you should just simply stay out of it. Let me show you how it's much simpler than you think. To get you started, let's go back to the 24th of February 2022.
Just before dawn, as air raid sirens sounded here, Vladimir Putin launched an all-out assault on this country.
Now you might be wondering why I've taken you to this exact moment in time. You see, from this day, millions across the world united to show their support towards Ukraine. Everyone from Paris to Luton was chiming in with their words of support for the Ukrainians fighting to protect their borders. It all comes down to one word: solidarity. So why did we all have this collective moment of solidarity? Was it all an instinctive response to tragedy? Well, I think it was. But there's also something bigger at play. From when you were about this tall, you've been told about one concept, advertently and inadvertently. That concept is borders. We all collectively understand the protection of one's borders is effectively the protection of one's identity. This is where the very common phrase, country X has the right to defend itself. So to go back to Palestine, this phrase justifies Israel's existence. Now, that's not me saying that justifies Israel's heavy-handedness or militant tactics or even its apartheid regime. It justifies its entire existence. That's why now, today's news, you'll see Zelensky, you'll see Biden, you'll see everyone referencing one key phrase: Israel has the right to defend itself. And for the most part, yes, I agree with that. But there's one big problem. No one gives that right to Palestinians. And if you look at a map of 1945 Palestine, you'll realise that if we applied that right to Palestinians, the state of Israel would struggle to justify its tactics on a daily basis. It's just not likely at all that you will get modern day politicians telling you that Israel doesn't have the right to defend itself, because its right to defend itself is exactly what justifies its existence. So, without getting too deep into it, you're all caught up. Palestinians want freedom, just like the Ukrainians. So how do we get there? What I'm about to say will shock you, but we need to take it back to the end of the Second World War. Specifically, we need to take it back to 1945, where the world leaders, despite their political differences, came together to forge a plan for the future of Germany. Of course, at the time, Germany was no stable country. It just collapsed from a Nazi regime. This is serious work to be done. But despite their political differences, they came together, and although the plan wasn't perfect, they forged a different Germany than the one we saw in 1945. This is because the international community, including Winston Churchill of all people, defended the right to self-determination, a value inherent in every liberation fight. These world leaders didn't just speak about it though, they acted on it. That's why we have a different Germany today than we did 70 years ago. So the only solution we can have is for the international community to work together to break down the walls constructed by the apartheid regime. That way we can work on having equal rights for Palestinians and Israelis. The next time you think this issue is complicated, I want you to ask yourself this question: why haven't you considered the rights of Palestinians?